Good evening and welcome back to latest case analysis series by Law Seekho. This is Monica Rahar, and for today's discussion, we have taken up a Supreme Court decision which is dated 5th of August 2020. The name of the case is Excel Careers and Another versus Frankfin Aviation Services Private Limited. It was a three-judge bench decision, and the bench consisted of Honorable Justice R.F. Nariman, Justice Naveen Sinha, and Justice Indira Banerjee. Now let's proceed and understand the issue of law. So the court was to decide if a plaint is returned under Order 7 Rule 10 of the CPC, whether the suit shall proceed de novo or will it continue from the stage where it was pending before the court at the time of returning the plaint. So to explain the issue of law simply, it meant that whenever a court returns a plaint to a court of competent jurisdiction, then will the court to which the plaint is so returned, will it proceed with the suit de novo or will it continue from the stage where the previous court had left the matter? Now, having understood the question of law, let's proceed with the brief facts of the matter. So, the respondent, which is Frankfin Aviation, it filed a suit for recovery of money against the petitioner before the Civil Just Senior Division, Gurugram. The petitioner, however, filed for return of the plaint under Order 7 Rule 10 of the CPC on the ground that the cause of action arose somewhere else and that respondent number 2, he did not reside in Gurugram, and therefore the court at Gurugram does not have the jurisdiction. And hence, however, the return application of the petitioner, it was rejected by the court at Gurugram. Now, before we proceed, let's understand the provisions of Order 7 Rule 10. So, it provides for return of plaint, and Sub-Rule 1 provides for subject to the provisions of Rule 10A, the plaint shall at any stage of the suit be returned to be presented to the court in which the suit should have been instituted in the very first place. And secondly, it provides for procedure on returning the plaint. So on returning a plaint, the judge shall endorse thereon the date of its presentation and return, the name of the party presenting it, and a brief statement of the reasons for returning the plaint. Now, aggrieved by this order of rejection, the petitioner filed a revision petition before the Delhi High Court, and before the Delhi High Court, a submission was advanced by the petitioner, which was to the effect that there was an exclusion clause in the agreement between the petitioner and the respondent or the defendant, and the clause 16B of such an agreement, it conferred exclusive jurisdiction on court at Delhi, and therefore the plaint should be returned to court at Delhi for two reasons. A, because the court at Gurugram, it does not have the jurisdiction, and B, because by virtue of clause 16B, the exclusive jurisdiction was conferred on the court at Delhi. Now, agreeing with the submission of the petitioner, the Delhi High Court ordered the court at Gurugram to return the plaint to court at Delhi. The petitioner, however, wanted the matter to be processed further afresh, and therefore it approached the Delhi High Court with another revision petition for de novo proceeding of the suit at the court at Delhi. But by impugned order, the Delhi High Court had held that suit at Delhi shall proceed from the stage at which it was pending at court at Gurugram and not de novo. Now, aggrieved by this decision of the Delhi High Court, the petitioner filed a special leave petition or the SLP before a division bench of the Supreme Court. The division bench, however, opining a perceived conflict between two leading precedents governing this issue of law, that is the case of Joginder Tuli versus S.L. Bhatia and Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited versus Modern Construction and Company. It noting a perceived conflict between these two leading precedents, the division bench referred the matter to a larger bench, which is the 3 bench in this present matter. Now, before we proceed, let's have an understanding of what was held in these two decisions. And also, both of these cases, they were decided by division benches of the Supreme Court. So, in the case of Joginder Tuli, it was held that on return of a plaint, the suit is perhaps to be tried afresh. But in this present case, since the evidence is already adduced, it will be proceeded otherwise and accordingly. That is, it will not be proceeded afresh. And secondly, in the case of modern construction, it was held that trial is to be conducted de novo, that is afresh. Now let's proceed with the cases of the parties. And let's begin with the case of the petitioner. So the petitioner contended that there is no conflict between these two decisions because the latter, it depicts a correct position of law, and the suit is to be started afresh at the court at Delhi. Secondly, it was contended that there was an error in the High Court decision because the case wasn't of exercising transfer jurisdiction under section 24 of the CPC. It was rather a case of return of plaint under Order 7 Rule 10, and by this submission the petitioner wanted to bring forth the point that the whenever a court is exercising jurisdiction under section 24, then it is different because in section 24 both the courts, that is the transfer court and the transferee, has the jurisdiction. Therefore, even if it decides to not begin with the case afresh, then that's okay. But in case plaint is returned, then it is returned from a court which is not having the jurisdiction, and therefore the court which has the jurisdiction should start with the matter afresh. And thirdly, it was contended that return of plaint can be at any stage, and therefore rebutting the contention of the respondent, the possibility of conclusion of evidence and pleadings at Gurugram court being concluded is inconsequential. Now let's proceed and understand the case of the respondent. So the respondent contended that the SLP it suffered from suppression of material facts had the materials placed in the counter affidavit been brought to the attention of the court. Perhaps the special leave petition may not have been entertained at all. And secondly, it was contended that the petitioner, in his first objection, did not raise the ground under the exclusion clause 16b of the agreement, but limited it to the ground that no business was carried on at Gurgaon, and secondly, that defendant number 2 did not reside there, and therefore the court at Gurugram does not have the jurisdiction. Now let's proceed and understand the reasoning and decision of the court. So the court made an observation to the effect that it is a settled position of law that in dispute between parties where two or more courts have the jurisdiction, it is always open for them by agreement to confer exclusive jurisdiction by consent on one of the two courts. And in the present case, clause 16b of the agreement did the same. That is, it conferred exclusive jurisdiction on court at Delhi. Now, with respect to the case of Joginder Tuli, the three-judge bench came to the following conclusion: that the observations made by the division bench, they're very clear that the suit has to proceed afresh before the proper court, and the direction which were made in the court, which were to the effect that the suit should not proceed afresh in the particular case. So this direction, it was made more in the light of the particular facts of the case in exercise of the discretionary jurisdiction under Article 136 of the Constitution, rather than laying down a proper proposition of law. And then the Supreme Court also noted that the case of Joginder Tuli, it did not consider any earlier precedents. It also did not discuss the law either, and therefore it has no precedential value as laying down any law. Now, with respect to the case of modern construction, it was noted that it refers to the consistent position of law, that it took into consideration relevant facts or relevant precedents, including the case of Joginder, and it lays down the correct position of law. And secondly, the three-judge bench, it reiterated the observations made by the division bench in the case of modern construction, and the observations made by the division bench were to the following effect: if the court where the suit is instituted is of the view that it has no jurisdiction, then the plaint is to be returned in view of the provisions of Order 7 Rule 10 of the CPC. And after presentation before the court of competent jurisdiction, the plaint is to be considered afresh and the trial is to be conducted de novo, even if it stood concluded before the court having no competence to try the same. And then the court came to the conclusion that there is no contradiction between the law laid down in the case of modern construction and Joginder Tuli, and modern construction in fact laid down the correct position of law. Now, with respect to the perceived conflict or differences between Section 24 and Order 7 Rule 10, the Supreme Court made the following observations: that the transfer of a suit under Section 24 CPC was entirely different from return of plaint. In transfer, both the transfer and the transferor and the transferee court have the jurisdiction to hear the matter. The transferee court has the discretion to either retry the proceedings or proceed from the point at which such proceedings contrasts from the point at which the previous court left the matter, and this is in contrast with the scheme of Order 7 Rule 10, read with Rule 10A, where no such discretion is given and the proceeding has to commence de novo. Now, here we need to carefully note one thing, that the court A laid down a general proposition of law, which is to the effect that whenever a complaint is returned, then it has to proceed did further afresh, which is also reiterating the findings in the case of modern construction. Now, with respect to the present case, the factual aspect of the present case, the court noted that in this case, the matter should not be tried afresh, and why it should not be tried afresh and fresh, and why did the court make a deviated finding even after coming to the conclusion that the suit has to proceed afresh, that we'll understand now. So, in the particular facts and circumstances of the case, because the petitioner did not raise the objection under clause 16b of the agreement at the very first opportunity, the order of rejection attained finality. The In light of the fact that the objection was raised as an afterthought, the second application under Order 7 Rule 10 had to be preferred by the respondent, that pleadings of the parties have been completed, evidence led, and that the matter was fixed for final argument. The Supreme Court held that it was of the considered opinion that despite having concluded that the impugned order is not sustainable in view of the law laid down in the case of modern construction, in exercise of its discretionary jurisdiction under Article 136 of the Indian Constitution, and in order to do complete and substantial justice between the parties under Article 134 of the 32 of the Constitution, in the particular facts and circumstances of the case, the court declined to set aside the impugned order of the High Court. So, what we need to extract from this entire case analysis is that whenever a plaint is returned under Order 7 Rule 10, then the plaint has to start afresh and the proceedings of the suit should proceed de novo. And with respect to the factual aspect of the matter, the court exercised its discretionary jurisdiction and invoked its power under Article 136 of the Constitution and also under Article 132 of the Constitution. And while doing so, the court had held that even the settled position, even the general proposition of law is something else. The proceeding at the court in Delhi should not proceed afresh. So, at the end of this note, you may find a list of abbreviations which note down all the abbreviations which we have used in the note. You may refer to it for a clearer understanding in case there is any confusion. Also, if you have any questions or any doubts with respect to the case analysis, kindly feel free to mention the same in the comment section. Thank you for being with us.